Welcome back. This evening we're going to cook a steak that can be a little intimidating. This is beef loin, or some people call it a filet mignon, and it's kind of cut like that. It's from Costco. A butcher shop might have cleaned it up a little better, made a little bit better shape out of it, but we have what we have. I'm going to show you how to cook this meat. It cooks a little bit different. This is not a cut of meat that we're going to sear off and then throw in the oven. We're going to have to work this piece of meat. You'll notice these are quite a bit more lean than the ribeyes that we cooked in the past, or some of the other types of steak. And with a really lean piece of meat like this, we're going to have to pay more attention to it. We're going to have to cook it a little slower and make sure it cooks through. So I'm just going to I like cooking with cast iron, and I want to cook this a little bit high at first and just sear it off. So I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil, which I like to cook with. I don't use seed oils, so olive oil or this coconut oil are a really good choice for cooking these steaks. They can withstand a good amount of heat. They can give the meat a little bit of a flavor. We're going to use seasoning that you're used to. I'm going to get this oil evened out in the pan, and I'm going to hit these with a bit of salt. You guys know that I like seasoning the meat that I cook pretty well, and that when you're living a carnivore or a low-carb lifestyle, you want your food to taste really good. You want to make this easy to do, and good tasting food makes it easy to do. Just going to get these seasoned up all the way around. And lastly, we'll hit them with some of this steak seasoning. Not too much on these, not too much. These are we're actually going to give this meat quite a buttery flavor, because we're going to butter baste it after we sear it off. Just a quick peek at how much each of these weigh. One weighs substantially more than the other. So that's a 9-ounce steak, and that's a 6.5-ounce steak. So almost 3 ounces, 2.5. And we're just going to sear this off. And because you sometimes get different weights of steak, we're going to do both of these at the same time. You're going to have to pay attention to one more than the other, but I think we can do that. And we're just going to give that a quick sear. Make sure we get some oil under it. It's a lean piece of meat, so we don't want to stick it to the pan. So we're going to use that oil that's in the pan. Move that pan around a little bit. And I like to just slightly roll these, just kind of get a little bit of cook on the sides. Sear them off a little. And then I'm going to turn this heat down. I'm going to turn the heat down to low to medium low. Got a little bit of brown on there. So that oil did a good job. A little bit of brown. To turn that down just a little. We're going to keep that flame a little bit low. And then I'm going to get some butter. And I just use a salted butter, and I'm going to use an entire stick of butter. I think I'll put about half of it in there, and then we'll add some more later as we continue to baste these. Cube that up a little bit so I can put it in a few places in the pan. That cast iron is going to hold heat real well and makes it a nice even heat, so we can keep that turned down a little bit. And we're going to let that butter melt in the pan. That butter is what's going to give us the fat that the meat doesn't have inherently. Okay, so we've been basting this for a little bit now, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of a nice, it's got kind of a nice color to it. That butter basting is really bringing it along, and it's adding a lot of nice flavor to it. So we're going to keep basting this and cooking it with this boiling oil, basically, this hot butter, as well as from the bottom of the pan into the bottom of the meat. And I checked the internal temperature. We're at about 100 degrees. We have a little bit more to go. And you can check them a little bit by feel. So there's how I learned a way to do that, and at what temperature, internal temperature your meat might be, it's going to be close, is the finger method. So when I check my palm like that, so that feels about the way this does, which is rare. And this is medium rare. It's a little more firm. And this is medium, and this is well. I kind of use that as a little bit of a guide, and when I get the feel where I think it's kind of, where I'm getting close to where I want it, then I'll use the thermometer to check the internal temperature. But in the meantime, we'll keep butter basting. Now, with cast iron, this gets hot and really holds heat, which is the nice thing about it. All right, well, I checked the internal temperature of these with the thermometer, and we had 120 on both of them. That one, the first one was a little smaller, so it came out of the pan first, and this is our larger one. It's beautiful. And we're going to set that on the cutting board, and we are going to let that rest for 10 minutes. I'm going to start my timer for 10 minutes. And even though I cooked these for lunches tomorrow, we're going to go ahead. I think we're going to come back in 10 minutes, and we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut one of these open so that you can see how we did. Okay, it's been about 8.5, 9 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into this, and let's see how we did. Wow, I think we did pretty good. So I'm not sure if you can see that far away, so I'm going to bring it to you. Look at that. Just how we wanted it. A beautiful medium rare. And I think that was a big success. By basting it with butter, we gave it a lot of flavor. We kept it really moist, and we exactly hit the temperature that we wanted. That is really good.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy cooking this cut of meat exactly that way. But man, look how moist. I can just tear that apart almost like it's roast. But perfect rare, medium rare. Really moist, really buttery. I think you'll enjoy this. Give this technique a shot. I think you'll be impressed. Thanks for joining us for Filet Mignon.